So give me the rating again, Joe. 9-11. What was it last week? And I know the World Series.
911,000. There's World Series at like 11 million. How great was it? How great is the World Series the past 2 nights? Where basically,
This week's
the Phillies have 5 home runs.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
Oh my
been
God,
dramatic.
we're gonna win the World Series, and the very next night,
no hitter. Yeah,
and I love Philly tonight, bro. Every game is just back and forth.
I think it's gonna go. Yeah, I think it's gonna go 7. I don't know.
So did you watch it?
Anyway,
let's.
Konnan, you asked about the ratings. I'm sorry, 911,000 last night, but it was down 8.6% from last week. So
Right.
there you go.
All right. So let's start. They start with action. Darby versus Jay Lethal. This was a pretty good match. They finally did a good spot with the Singh guy, Satnam Singh. They did a thing where they kept teasing. They kept teasing. Like he would stand outside the ring and like Darby would like tease like he would go dive, but the big guy would like stand in front of Jay Lethal so he wouldn't do it. So they built this up like a few times. They teased where Darby would like go dive and then the Satnam Singh just stood there, right? So they did a spot where Darby finally says screw it. He hits the ropes and goes diving through the rope and just bounced right off the guy. That was actually a very good spot because it looked really good too. But basically, the referee gets they throw Dutt and Singh from ringside for that, and I don't know why, because Sanjay attacked him and he didn't do anything. So while the referee's distracted, a masked wrestler dressed like Sting attacked Darby with a bat and put him in the ring, and what's his name? Jay hits him with the lethal injections for his finish. Okay? So they do the big reveal. They take the mask off, and it's Cole Carter of the Factory. Okay, the crowd literally had zero. Like I didn't know who it was.
Yeah,
and I think not hardly anybody knew who it was. Right, the crowd just completely feigned indifference. Right, so then this was weird. I don't know why they set it up this way. If this was like a plan to like get Darby or fool him, but they played Sting's music, so the 4 heels line up in the aisleway like like Sting's gonna come down. But Jeff Jarrett slides in the ring in his cowboy hat and hits Darby, spins Darby around and hits him with the guitar. And basically, they all come in and hug. It was a weird way to get Darby when all 4 of them could have just beat him up right there, but they made it like they swerved him or something. But and Jarrett basically cut a promo on the delusional AEW fan base. And basically, so he's here to stay. And Tony Khan tweeted out that he's the director of business development. What do you think about that?
That's unbelievable.
I thought this was a good physical, logical match. I thought Lethal looked really good. So did Darby. Good selling of the ribs by Darby, by the way. Bro, when Cole Carter came out, everybody went, who?
Right.
And this guy, the Sting, the guy that was dressed, the Sting looked like some broke Halloween in Las Vegas riffraff Sting. You knew it wasn't him.
Right.
And they're just hot-shotting.
Right.
And it's just a surprise for the sake of a surprise. I didn't understand what Jarrett had, why he was there. But the one thing about Jarrett is whatever you give him, he'll make it better.
Right.
And Sanjay worked with him in TNA, and he knows how professional Jeff can be.
The Ric Flair thing. They did the Ric Flair thing.
Yeah, they did the Flair thing also. Sanjay helped him with Global Force. So they're tight and all that. But what a crazy year Jeff has had. I mean, he did the GCW at the Hammerstein. He refereed SummerSlam, worked for WWE. He did the big Flair match, and now he's with AEW for. I mean, that's a crazy year.
Yeah, not really.
No.
No, I don't think that's crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
It's really not that big of a deal. AEW World Champion Jon Moxley delivered a backstage promo. He spoke about considering Lee Moriarty for the Blackpool Combat Club, but said he determined he wasn't mean and nasty enough. And Moxley said this would be the time for Lee to bring any pent-up frustrations to the surface. Moxley said he wants Moriarty to be mean, nasty, and violent because he doesn't have time for anything else. Now watch, I'm going to read that last line. He wants Moriarty to be mean, nasty, and violent. Okay?
Right.
All right. So we're gonna fast forward a little bit, but so the video showed the Elite winning the Trios titles, and a person was shown pulling the footage from a computer screen and playing the footage of the Death Triangle winning the AEW Trios titles, and the Elite were shown being erased from a Rampage advertisement, then replaced by the Death Triangle. So they're showing they're doing videos with the Elite, so they're gonna come back.
Hey, I just got an email from Manscaped. Sorry to interrupt, but would you guys take an extra package or two and put some of the like on your desk or whatever, so it's in the view of the camera. And they also asked, I don't see either of you guys doing this, if you put up a Manscaped flag behind you. So let me know if you.
That's not happening. You
I'll
can
post,
do that.
I'll do the
post it on
flag.
Twitter for them.
Okay. So I'll get you guys. I'll get you guys an extra package.
Well, if it's just the flag, then put it up yourself.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I'll post it on Twitter.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So this Moxley versus Lee Moriarty with our boy Stokely Hathaway is the most unimposing manager in the history of professional wrestling. Bro, this match was terrible. This is Moxley's worst match he's had, and he's had some decent matches, right? But the work was light. It didn't. The spots were, this is Moxley's problem. Okay, he can't elevate anybody because he doesn't really put a lot of effort into selling for the guy. He doesn't really animate or sell a lot of injury. At the end, they did this stupid spot where they were holding each other's hands. They were forearming each other. It didn't look good. And then Moriarty had him down in a submission on the ground, and they was doing like the ground and pound forearms. They looked very weak. And then they did a spot where they started with Saito suplexing each other and no-selling it. And this match. I'll defy anybody. If anybody thought this match was good, I'll do a watch along with them. This is Moxley's worst match he's had on TV, and it was a lot of his fault. But this Lee Moriarty guy is too green to be wrestling a world champion on a televised wrestling show, in my opinion. And maybe I'm being critical, but that's what I saw. So what do you guys think?
I just thought it took him too long to beat this guy. Why is he getting a title shot?
No, it's a title elimination match. Right.
Whatever. Why are they even in the same ring with him and that time slot when you got bigger names? And I think it's a waste of TV time, and you can say you're making people all you want, but that's not really the way to make them. It's part of the way of making them. You do it too much, and it's not getting over, dude. Right. And here's the other thing, bro. Everybody in that arena knew he was doing the job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That takes a lot of the heat off the thing,
Right. So after the match...
Now, I will say this. I like Ethan on commentary, and and he will be a great opponent. He can talk, he can work, he can get heat, but he doesn't mean anything right now either.
That faction is very flat.
Right.
And they're pushing them like they're like the NWO,
Right.
So next is Renee Paquette interviewed Saraya. It was supposed to be a sit-down with Britt Baker, but she didn't show up. Saraya said Baker doesn't care about anyone other than herself. Paquette welcomed Saraya back to pro wrestling and asked why now, why AEW, and Saraya said there's something special about AEW and it felt like a rebel company when it started. She wanted to be a part of it. Paquette asked Saraya where things stand from a medical standpoint, and she said there's one more doctor she wants to consult. So this is all right.
Dude, I don't want to keep repeating myself because now it almost seems like I'm bitter, but this is another thing, another chance you had to get inside Saraya's head, who she is, why she's there, give her a little character, growth, development. And, bro, this meant nothing. It didn't resonate. It was so short. There's no way it could have meant anything. Oh, yeah, I'll see you next week when I talk to one more doctor. Really? We wasted all this time for you to say that line? Right. And this is why their videos and angles don't resonate, because they don't put any time into them.
There's no depth. They're just saying, I'm going to, basically, this is the gist of what she said right now.
Yeah, we got a video. We got a video with Saraya. She'll have TV time. She's on TV, so people won't cry.
This is the gist of her promo. Renee Paquette asked her why she chose AEW. She said because it's special and it's a rebel company. She wanted to be a part of it.
Right.
It's like, well, why did you want to be a part of it? It's like, well, because maybe my failures is like getting injured and stuff, and I fell down. Like this was like the shortest, worst interview you could do for a character that we want to know a lot more stuff like why have you been out of wrestling for so long?
Right. Nothing was answered.
Nothing was answered. Right.
Right.
So and that's not critical. That's a critical. People are gonna say, "Oh, you just hate."
But it's true, bro.
True. It's absolutely true. This is another one right here. Tony Schiavone interviews William Regal, said MJF showed last week that he has all the potential in the world, but he still has a long way to go to be a true villain. Regal said potential won't help Moxley become AEW champion when he has to face a real demon in Jon Moxley. This was another awkward out because the second the syllable left Regal's mouth on the last thing he said, the AEW logo cut in and they cut away from the segment. It was like he got almost like he got cut off, right? Is the way that went out. So. All right, so I don't know what you guys think about this next segment, but there's another chance for character development, okay? And the Acclaim come out with Billy Gunn, and I'm thinking, why is Billy Gunn's hands taped. I guess they probably did some angle where he can't scissor, and I missed it because I don't watch all the shows in the YouTube. But at least the announcers explained it, like whatever. So basically, this whole segment was supposed to be for what's his name's birthday party.
Billy Gunn.
Okay, they brought out a bunch of gifts, bro. All this segment was them introducing all the new scissor merchandise. This segment was all about scissoring. Like, they didn't talk about themselves at all. So all they talked about was scissoring, and they bought gifts for him, and then they gave him a certificate of adoption. He adopted the two of them, and I was like, what did you think of this so far? Where they did the thing where he brought out they had the scissor fingers, and then they did the adoption certificate. What did you think of this?
Okay, so this is what I do think. I just think, like, first thing I think is this isn't for me. You know, this is not something I think is funny. I think it's kind of corny, nerdy, and cheesy, but the fans love it. I think it's something they want to get behind. I love when they come out, their beat, and the guy's rapping. He always has good lines. The other guy acts like but I'm okay with it. I just always think, what is Billy doing with these guys? He looks so out of place. He looks like he's having fun, but he looks so out of place, dude. I thought this dragged. I thought it was kind of stupid. How many times can you say scissor me and daddy scissors? And
it was too much.
It was
just
like
10
way
minutes
too
of
much.
scissors.
I'm like, dude, I heard this last week.
Right.
And this could get old quick if they don't watch themselves. They're going to the well too many times. And I don't think it's as hot as they think it is, or maybe I don't think it's it's hotter than I think it is. But I will say this. I think the sheer ridiculousness of when they ask a fan to give him a gift and the guy's hanging around with some paper scissors, like 2 foot tall. You're like thinking, what are you doing? What is this?
This was okay. So so this is 10 minutes of them talking about their scissors and the merchandise and daddy.
They should have cut that in half, dude.
Right.
Boom.
So nothing happened of note until the Gunn brothers come out.
Right.
And they kind of, wait a second, you're my dad and stuff,
Right. And then they adopted him. That was stupid.
So they talk for like 30 seconds, and then Morrissey comes in and kicks him, and they lay him out to no heat. Like, this did not get heat. Like, the crowd wasn't really booing because they were kind of happy because this thing dragged. And I think the fans thought it dragged too. They wasted 10 minutes talking about the scissoring. Bro, they should have been cutting them. They're the heavyweight champion. They're the tag team champions. They should have been cutting promos on the people that are going to be challenging them to start conflict. Like a personal issue. What's the personal issues? Like, so Billy Gunn adopted them and now they're not the other Guns. I don't know. This, like I said, this wasn't for me.
Right. Where was Swerve and Keith Lee? Aren't they the number one contenders? Now, does it seem that FTR is going to fight the Acclaim? So
FTR came out to help save them, and they ran the guys off, and there was no, and they just stood there and, he grabbed the belts, and they looked at the belts, and they handed it to him, and it's like, I don't know. All right. So this is another interview backstage. It means absolutely nothing. Tony Schiavone interviews Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and this is basically the gist of what they said. Baker said the interview was on her time and in her world. She said victim's been a victim of conspiracy and just wants to wrestle. Baker said they should wrestle together and call for AEW to find a team for them to face on Rampage. And that was literally like exactly what they said. Right. Does that make you interested to see who they're going to wrestle on Rampage?
Right. The same thing. It doesn't resonate. You don't put any time into it. You don't put any thought into it. Neither do the fans.
Right.
That's why the women's division is cold in all their angles.
Right. Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens quarterback, was shown at ringside. He looked like a hobo, to be honest with you. He looked like a bum. He did, though, didn't he? He looked like a gangster kind of,
Yeah.
So Jericho comes out, challenges all the Ring of Honor. Give me a Ring of Honor guy. Colt Cabana comes out. And did anybody think Colt Cabana was going to beat Jericho for the Ring of Honor championship?
No.
Jericho beats him in 9 minutes. Cabana didn't look bad in this. The kid can still work.
Yeah, Cabana's always been good.
Yeah. After the match, Menard and Parker grabbed Enric Aboni, and they brought him on the stage, and Jericho broke his glasses. And then that triggered a brawl. All right, so they had a big brawl on the stage with the Blackpool Combat Club and everything. This was the first time Wheeler Yuta looked really good brawling. Did you notice this? He was throwing smoke when he was he actually.
I'm still
Wheeler Utah's his brawling looked better than everybody else in the brawl.
All right, good for him. I don't see him as a star.
Okay, I know, but I'm just saying. But you know how you talk about when he does these brawls, it looks he doesn't brawl good. This week he made a concerted effort because he stuck out in this brawl as one guy that looked like he was throwing smoke.
Yeah, he did. He did. I give you that. But like I said, I just don't see him as a star.
Right. Well, I don't either.
Right now,
I'm giving the guy some credit. So just
no, I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit too. He did throw smoke.
Right.
Let me tell you, when I saw Colt Cabana backstage, I remember asking him. I go, "Yo, what's up with you now that Punk's back?" And he was like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "Yeah, we're not really talking." I go, "Come on, dude." After all these years and you guys were boys, you're not yeah, man, he just won't talk to me. And I was like, and he would kind of look around,
right?
Like he knew when I look back, he knew that he was probably going to get the axe from Punk somehow, or Tony did it to make Punk happy, or Punk asked him. Because now when I think back of that day, I remember telling him, "Bro, you can't even sit down and just say, hey, well, let's reset our relationship and let's." He goes, "Nah, man, he won't even talk to me."
Right.
But anyway, so I was happy to see him back because obviously he was a victim of some sort of chicanery there, politics, and he looked good. Jericho did a great job of making him look good. Jericho does a good job making people look good than beating them.
Right. Yeah. So next, Renee Paquette interviews Death Triangle, and Paquette asked Phoenix how he felt about the possibility of becoming a double champion. Phoenix spoke positively about winning the AEW All-Atlantic Championship, and Pac told Phoenix he wanted real revenge for Death Triangle. The Hammer could be his golden ticket. So Justin Roberts stood in the ring with Rick Knox. This was so corny. He was holding a contract, and the contract said "Dream Opponent Contract for the winner of the AEW All-Atlantic Championship." Like showing the contract. It's like, I was like, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. So Orange Cassidy, Luchasaurus, and Rey Fenix. The best part of this was Christian was doing commentary. It was pretty funny. But I was so they did a spot on stage where Luchasaurus has Cassidy. He's gonna maybe powerbomb off the stage. Jungle Boy hits him with a chair. It's a no DQ match. Cage got up, was chased to the back, and then Jungle Boy did a crossbody to Luchasaurus, and they went through a couple tables that were carefully placed there for some reason. And so Phoenix, so Pac went to go give him the hammer. Phoenix tossed the hammer aside, returned the ring, and they did a rolling spinning combination. But they did like a he caught him. What was he trying to do to him? They caught him with the orange punch, the Superman punch. This was a really well done finish.
Oh, yeah. He
hit him with the Superman punch, like he was going for a moonsault or something.
Right. That was very well done. Yeah, like he was going for an RKO or something. He just knocked the out of him. Yeah, that was great.
Perfect timing by both guys, and it looked legit. And bro, it would have been the fact that they got the pin on that was perfect because that didn't need a 2 count kick out. Oh,
right, that was perfect. You're absolutely right. Orange Cassidy's underrated wrestler. We've seen him have some good matches. They're a real nice guy. When you meet him backstage, you're really happy that because he's not presumptuous or.
After the match.
And what I liked about Luchasaurus is he's finally wrestling like a big guy.
Right, yeah. He's cut all that Lucha stuff out. Right. So after the match, Shibata comes out, and him and Cassie stare down, and he hands him the contract, and he signs the contract. And Excalibur goes, "They're going to be fighting at Rampage Friday night." Right.
Dude, would it hurt you to fill us in on who Shibata is for people that don't know who he is and just quit getting over with the super fan base of AEW? Hey, this is Shibata. He works from New Japan. He was a champion or whatever. Give us something, bro. You just can't assume people know who this guy is.
Tony Schiavone interviews Swerve Strickland, rapper. Go right backstage with Rick Ross and Swerve Strickland. They got a set up with some cheap-looking champagne and like plastic glasses. Ross said they were there to make sure Swerve was the biggest wrestler in the industry and the largest recording artist in the world. They actually let these guys talk for a change, the rappers. Keith Lee showed up and greeted Ross, and Lee said he hadn't heard from Strickland, and Ross said they were keeping things positive. Lee brought up Strickland attacking Billy Gunn on AEW Rampage, and Ross said it was an accusation. Lee said it was fact and then questioned who's behind the camera filming the attack. Swerve called for him and Lee to team with Gun Club against the Acclaimed and FTR next week. Ross got Lee to join in on a champagne toast. What did you think of it?
I don't know. I thought they could have done that a little bit better, but that's Rick Ross. To me, that's like a big name. But it was okay. Spiff hooked that up. Yeah, we had on the show.
Oh, he hooked that up?
Yeah, and
cool.
I think they're gonna do something. He works with Ross.
Right.
I think they're gonna work with Swerve and Ross and do something. So it's good they let Ross talk because
right.
He was afraid that I don't want to just walk to them, sit in the front row, and then walk to the back like everybody else does. I go, yeah, well, that seems to be their MO. Just get involved somehow, whether it's a promo or whatever. But anyway, so it looks like they're on their way.
Right. So they have a House of Black package. No, timeout. Okay, so they do Jade Cargill versus Marina Shafir. This is terrible. This whole segment was atrocious. Nyla Rose walked out with Vicky. And she had the belt on, acting like she was a champion. Said she's going to do commentary, and she's doing commentary on the mic on the stage. Cargill and Shafir fought to ringside, and Rose and Guerrero tried to distract Cargill. Eventually, tossed Shafir back in the ring and started to walk up the ramp. Rose called attention to Jade's streak, which caused her to run back to the ring to avoid being counted out. And Cargill hit a big boot in the Jade and pinned her. After the match, they missed this, but Nyla Rose, I guess, beat up Kara Hogan and stuff.
Right.
And the announcer had to say that she tried to take the title back, and they're just laying there. So this was just a production mess on this segment. And this was the worst segment on the show, I thought. What did you think?
It's just been terrible storytelling. So basically, she stole the title from Jade. Right. Layla Gray adds nothing to the team, just like Stokely didn't add anything, just like Kira doesn't add anything. She should ditch those chicks. And the premise was Kira was trying to sneak up behind her and steal the title, and Nyla caught her, and obviously the camera didn't. That was brutal. This Marina Shafir feels like she's wrestled Jade at least 3 times, maybe.
Yeah.
Why is she getting so many opportunities and getting beat that quick when there's so many other girls on the indies? This was not good, like you said. Nyla on the microphone was not good. This whole storyline is not good. And I cannot believe that somebody that's just screaming money like Jade Cargill is just totally misused.
Right. So next is this. I thought this was interesting. So they go backstage and they have a video package where Storm and Hayter, and Storm spoke about her past friendship with Hayter and how it became obvious when she came to AEW that Hayter was Britt Baker's best friend. Now this was starting to get into like pretty good character development,
right?
And then it just ended,
right?
And it needed like 2 more minutes.
I agree. It
was like 1 minute long, and if they were talking the tone with telling the story about their relationship, and then they said, well, then she came to, I realized she was Britt Baker's friend.
I agree 100%.
And then they ended it, and it was like instead of like. It looked like it was edited.
It left you hanging, yeah.
Like maybe there was 3 minutes of talking that they did there, and they just edited down to 1 minute. Is what it came across as, and that was
what a shame because it was pretty good. Yeah,
it was that's the type of stuff they need, and it was way too short.
Right.
All right. So then just Cage versus Samoa Joe for the Ring of Honor title. The Ring of Honor is all over the show this week. It's unbelievable. And typical big man match between the two. Samoa Joe goes over in the Gates of Agony. Toa, Leon, and Kwan run down to attack Joe. Wardlow makes his entrance dressed in a suit. Wardlow entered the ring, and the Embassy Trio left the ring despite having the numbers advantage. And Powerhouse Hobbs entered from the other side of the ring and put Wardlow down with the spinebuster. And Hobbs picked up the TNT title belt and hold it to close the show. So I guess that's the angle. Hobbs attacks Wardlow, and now that's the match. Next week.
Just a lot of hot shotting, I feel. Yeah. I feel Cage hasn't meant anything in a long time, so everybody knew he was doing the job. Just the Embassy, they've come off kind of JoJo-ish to me, whoever they are. Sierra Leone, and who's the other guy?
Kaun.
And, bro, it's just kind of like a JoJo unit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just a lot of hot shotting. A lot of hot shotting, and that's going to come back to bite him in.
Right.
If it hasn't already.
All right. So that's been our
review. Not hating, just stating. Boom.